All right, look, I was just talking to someone and this came to my mind, which is really important. God basically made life so confusing, not able to be understood by the human mind, that if you don't cry out in the sense that you're saying, look, this is too confusing. I don't know how to do it on my own. I need somebody that knows more than me to help me through this life. God made it that way so that we would seek Him, and He promised that if you seek Him, you will find Him. He is the one that knows not only more than you, but everything. And He promises in His Word that if you seek Him, you will find Him. And if you find Him, He will help you. He will direct your path, and everything will work out in a beautiful way, regardless of if it is hard or challenging. This is the promise of the Bible, and this is, like I was saying, I was just talking to someone about this. This is why I believe, or at least one of the reasons why, in God's wisdom, He knows way more than me. I'm trying to explain a concept in human terms that really cannot be explained. But in my estimation, at least it makes sense now, life is so confusing, so unable to be understood by the human mind, that it points directly at God. And that was God's intention, in my opinion. And not only that, people might say, oh, that's kind of mean, isn't it? Not really, because when you look at God and you read His Word, He says, look, you don't even have to worry. He's like a good father. He's like your parents when you're a kid and you don't have to worry. Why do we always look back in time and say, oh, when we were younger, everything was simpler. Everything was more at peace. Why? Because you didn't have to worry about anything. God's saying the same thing. He's like, look, you can go back to that time when you were a young child. You don't have to stress about your bills and your work and all this stuff. Of course, you have to think about them. But He says, look, think about them but don't stress because I got you. Think about them and don't stress because the righteous don't go hungry. Think about them and don't worry about the future because the future has enough worry of its own. And I, God, the one that you sought in the craziness of the world, He says, I will be your guide. That's a good thing to remember. If you like your childhood days for their simplicity, you can go back to those days, at least in a small sense, by trusting God, and He will take care of you. That's all I wanted to say. Seek God, seek His Word, and pray to Him. He will help you in this crazy world. But maybe let's get it.